Hello you and welcome back to Scandinavian Design 101. I'm Sanna.
I'm Andreas and we are two Swedes and we love design.
Still do.
Yeah. And today we will yet again discuss one particular piece of furniture. And this one was a common sight in almost every mid-century home. Bar cabinets.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, in modern times, very few people have their own liquor cabinets at home, at least in Sweden, that is. But in the 40s and 50s, it was a different story. Every respectable household was expected to have a dedicated cabinet for alcohol, completed with glassware and perhaps even a container for refreshing ice cubes. Soon we'll show you 10 Scandinavian cabinets from different decades and share our thoughts about them. Mm-hmm. However, let us first explore the history of bar cabinets. When did they first appear and why? And what did the earliest bar cabinets look like?
Mm-hmm. Cabinets designed specifically for storing liquor are actually a relatively new concept. Mm-hmm. Although liquor itself has been around for thousands of years, accompanying humanity throughout history like an old friend.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. Even in ancient times, cabinets were used to store alcohol, but they were not exclusively intended for that purpose. Jars and bottles shared space with books, tools, and various other objects. And most often, liquor was simply stored on an open shelf on the wall. Yeah. It wasn't until the 1920s that cabinets built specifically for alcohol began to appear in the US. And the reason was simple. In 1920, the sale of alcohol was banned in the US, but this didn't stop people from drinking. No. However, it couldn't be done as openly as before, and bottles had to be stored far from the prying eyes of the law. The solution was discreet-looking bar cabinets. As a result, these early cabinets were made to hide rather than display the alcohol. In Sweden, alcohol was never entirely prohibited, but between 1917 and 1955, the sale was strictly controlled and rationed. It simply wasn't possible to buy enough alcohol to fill a cabinet. No. Only barely enough for occasional drinking.
Yeah.
We must also mention Systembolaget, a state-owned company with monopoly of selling alcohol in Sweden.
Yeah.
The company was founded in 1955, and this monopoly actually still exists today.
Yeah.
Therefore, in Sweden, you won't find alcohol in any supermarket or convenience stores.
No.
And Systembolaget is closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
So you cannot buy any alcohol in the whole of Sweden on Sundays.
No, not at all. And you have to be 20 years old and you have to be sober to buy alcohol. Yeah. The situation changed significantly in the US when the prohibition finally ended in the early 1930s. And suddenly, liquor no longer had to be hidden. And some bar cabinets were designed to become centerpieces rather than secret hideaways. Some even had glass doors proudly showcasing the bottles. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. However, certain bar cabinets continued to serve as hiding places, not for legal reasons anymore, obviously, but rather as amusing conversation pieces to discuss during dinners and gatherings. And the best examples of this is probably the world cabinets, where the bottles were concealed inside a massive globe. I love those. Yeah, really nice. Would love an old one, but it's almost impossible to find.
You don't have to build one.
Yeah, I have to build one.
Bar cabinets had their peak in the 50s and 60s when modernist cabinets were sold to match the rest of the interior. Exclusive materials were used, and inside the cabinets one could find lighting, shelving for bottles and glasses, as well as mirrors and ice buckets. Yeah. But gradually, home bars started replacing cabinets. And eventually, the alcohol found its place in some kitchen cabinet rather than in exclusive pieces of furniture, especially designed for alcohol.
Yeah.
And that's a very sad development.
Yeah, it's really sad. And now, let's examine 10 Scandinavian bar cabinets sold at auction. And first up is a cabinet produced in Sweden as early as in the 1930s, during this ransoming time. It's cylindrical, accessible from all sides through 4 doors, and mounted on a swivel base. And this model is often claimed to be designed by the Swedish-American architect Greta Magnusson Grossman for her own company Studio. However, this attribution appears uncertain at best, and it's likely wishful thinking. I don't think she had anything to do with this one. But nowadays, you'll often have to bid around $1,000 at auction to acquire one.
Yeah, it is super fun.
Yeah, it's a fun piece. Yeah, it's a nice thing that it's a round piece that you should have like in the middle of the room, or
should.
Yeah, we could have
the doors indicate.
Yeah,
that you're supposed to have it.
Yeah, and then you can have like a nice large easy chair on each side of it or something. And the good thing is also the glass shelf, or tabletop, or what we should call it, because then it doesn't matter if you like spill on it. That's also a good thing.
That is good when it's booze.
Yeah.
Next is the cube-shaped bar Casket. That's not a nice word.
No.
8034, designed by the Danish architect Hans J. Wegner in 1956 for the manufacturer Andreas. It's crafted from teak and stands on 4 short legs, and the casket features a large drawer, and the top opens to provide access to the bottles, obviously.
Yeah.
When open, the lid also serves as a handy little table.
Yeah.
Compared to most other bar cabinets on the market, this one is quite expensive. And last year, one in good condition was sold for nearly $5,000.
Yeah.
For a casket.
Yeah. It's compared with other minimalistic bar tables, or bar caskets. This one is really nice because the details are really good, and the quality is
details are good.
Yeah, and the quality is extremely good compared with these low quality.
But it's still just a wooden box.
Yeah, it is. And obviously you need some really fancy furniture around it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Otherwise it would just look stupid. Very stupid.
This looks like something that should have been made in the 20s in the US to hide the alcohol rather than display it.
I don't really like it.
No.
I think it's silly.
Yeah, okay. It is a square box.
You call it a casket.
Yeah, and it is a casket.
It died for me.
Okay.
Haha. Fun.
And next up is the large cabinet Palan, or the pearl, as it means in Swedish, designed in 1953 by the Swedish designer Svante Skog for the manufacturer Förenade Möbelfabrikerna. And the shape is quite typical of the 1950s, featuring straight lines and brass rods holding the legs together. While this cabinet may appear somewhat modest when closed, it's the opposite when the doors are open. Inside, you'll find drawers, shelves, glass holders, a light, and a large mirror. And this model is rarely up for sale, but a couple of years ago, one of these were sold for just over $500 at auction.
Cheap.
That's cheap.
This one I like. I like them more when they are actually a cabinet.
Yeah, a real cabinet.
A casket.
A bar cabinet.
Yeah, I like the black, and I love the fan messing, brass. I love the black and the brass together, and it looks very nice.
Yeah, and
of course it's a bit boring, but it's very pretty.
Yeah, but it's something with mirrors in bar cabinets too. You want this, it looks like you have twice as much booze at home.
That could be dangerous.
That's the reason why
fun.
you have this mirror. No, but this is obviously a really nice
Super
cabinet.
pretty.
Yeah.
If you have glasses on the doors, that seems a bit risky. When you open
it seems a bit risky. Yeah. You really need to remember to open carefully. Otherwise, it's like a catastrophe there.
Could be. When discussing Scandinavian bar cabinets, it's impossible not to mention Norway and the wonderful rosewood cabinets produced there in the 50s and 60s. One excellent example is the multifunctional cabinet Times, designed by Torbjörn Afdal for the furniture factory Solid.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. It was distributed through the sales organization Bruksbo and is relatively common on the secondhand market.
Yeah.
At first glance, it appears to be just a cabinet, but the top can be folded out, transforming it into a bar counter.
Yeah.
The cabinet in the pictures was sold for just under $1,000. That is a fun feature.
Yeah, it is. It's a good thing. It's made, obviously, for, like, parties at home. I just have one thing I don't like, and that's the casters. Yeah, they are horrible. It looks like it's the same casters used for 1970s office chairs. So they are ugly.
Yeah,
why not like these brass wheels or something instead?
The legs are ugly.
Yeah, they are. It looks a bit... It looks cheap
from the bottom down.
Yeah, from the bottom down.
Yeah, the handles looks expensive.
Yeah, and inside it's some
it's
nice
pretty.
features, and it's also safer here, but because you have this metal rail holding the glass and so on. So it's a nice feature.
But why have the glasses in? Oh, maybe it's not for the glasses. Maybe it's for bottles.
Could be, but yeah, perhaps.
That's also dangerous
A bit
when you
dangerous. Yeah.
Force. Well,
yeah, it's a funny feature with this transformation thing. But still, I wouldn't buy it because I don't want this plastic details. No.
Agreed.
And now, let's take a look at a somewhat unusual Swedish corner cabinet produced by an unidentified manufacturer in the 1930s. It's triangular in shape, with a rotating door that reveals three semicircular shelves. And the large glass mirror creates the illusion of full circles when it's open. And this unique piece was offered for sale at auction in Stockholm 2 years ago with a price tag of like $300 US. Very cheap. And this is cool, really, because it's such a nice... like Art Deco piece. And this metal details and so on is also really nice.
The shelves, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are shelves.
Yeah.
They're very necessary.
Yeah, it looks like three flying. Flying.
Of course, that's the point.
Yeah.
But of course it's pretty. It's very cool, very unusual.
Yeah, and also nice wood. Nice wood, both on the actual cabinet and on the door.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I don't hate any of it.
No,
I love it all. It's very pretty. I would have bought it.
Yeah, the idea is really good to have this corner cabinet with a rotating door. Yeah,
very good.
So this one is best yet, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
agreed.
yeah.
The next cabinet was introduced by IKEA in 1959. At that time, IKEA was collaborating with several international designers. And the bar cabinet Domino was designed by the famous Danish architect Tbanofll Iversen. Most notably, it features sled-shaped legs. The actual cabinet is more like a square casket again, with a lid that can be used as a small table for drinks, which is fun.
Yeah.
Inside, there's a glass shelf and not much else.
No.
The Domino cabinet was inexpensive in the 50s and it remains affordable today. At auction, the price tag is generally a little over $100.
Yeah. But I must say that the details here aren't that bad compared with, for example, that Norwegian cabinet.
No, it's better.
Yeah.
But also worse.
Yeah, perhaps. The thing is, IKEA didn't produce any furniture back then. They were just a retailer, and this was obviously made by some small manufacturer in Sweden or Denmark. But it's kind of boring, but not horrible.
Yeah, I do not like any of these caskets.
Okay, you think they are a bit too
It's just a box. It's just a wooden fucking box.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. So, not a favorite.
No, I'm getting tired looking at it.
Yeah, let's move on.
I'm gonna yawn.
But now, let's explore a high-quality Danish cabinet by Kurt Östervig, produced by KP Möbler in the 1960s. And the overall shape isn't vastly different from most other bar cabinets of the era, featuring a square shape and long legs connected with horizontal bars. However, it's the details that set it apart. The strict geometric shape is interrupted by the slightly curved frame surrounding the front of the cabinet, and the unique wooden inlays gives it this playful appearance. And the interior is relatively simple with glass shelves and bottle holders. While I couldn't find a recent auction price for this cabinet, it's sometimes sold by high-end dealers for well over $10,000.
That's a shame.
Yeah, because this one is wonderful.
It really is super beautiful and also fun.
Yeah. And I think that Kurt Östervig wanted to do something, because most cabinets are these square boxes.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to do this dots on the
shape
doors.
Too, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
But the legs could have been
A bit more fun, yeah.
Why are they lighter?
That's a shame.
They should be darker.
Obviously, yeah. And I'm not really sure what wood were used, but
Birch.
yeah, and
No, I don't find it.
yeah, but that could be the
Case.
explanation, because it's solid wood in the legs, and the other is veneer. So they could perhaps they couldn't afford using that.
But we shouldn't focus on
No,
them,
not at
because
all.
the rest is very beautiful.
It is, and it's
I
a
love
clever thing here that he wanted an organic-looking cabinet, but it would have been extremely expensive to produce the actual cabinet, not with like straight pieces of wood. So instead he used this frame, and that's
smart,
a
very
great
smart.
idea. And
Super clever.
and still you can put things up on top of it,
Yeah, it's just flat
and
there.
so
Very, very smart.
so this is. I mean, you can't really compare this one with the rest.
No, I think it's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it
But
is.
I would not buy it for $10,000.
No, that's too expensive.
Yeah, it is actually. But super, super good.
Yeah.
Now let's take a look at the Swedish cabinet Party Corner, designed by an in-house designer at Wards
Atelier, yeah.
in the late 60s. It's a low, square bar cabinet standing on a wooden base. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Part of the top can be pushed aside to reveal a storage space underneath, and the integrated glass bowls are perfect for ice.
Yeah.
That's nice. This cabinet was part of a large system of sofa models and tables.
Yeah.
When placed next to a large sofa, the bar cabinet functions perfectly as a small side table with drinks in close reach, which is nice.
Yeah.
Recently, one of these cabinets was sold for around $500.
Yeah. And it's not fair to really judge this cabinet by just looking at this cabinet, because one has to understand that this is it's a part of a large system of different pieces, and it should be like the corner sofa, the party corner sofa. It's really nice. It's a typical like this 1960s, 70s interiors.
Yeah.
And when used with these other pieces, this bar cabinet is really nice.
Okay.
And it's also there's a music cabinet too that looks exactly like this, but it's a LP player inside, and you can have your records in it. So
your records.
Yeah. So when used as a whole interior,
but nobody has a whole interior.
but no, that's the problem, of course. And this one just looks a bit sad.
Yeah, like a
where it
box
stands.
again.
Yeah.
I do love the wood though. Looks like ice.
Yeah, it's actually
this
kind of
one.
nice rosewood on
it
this
is
one.
lovely.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's lovely.
Yeah. So if you are interested in buying a whole system of furniture, you should buy this one, but otherwise you shouldn't. No.
So why did you choose it?
Yeah, but it's still a bar cabinet. And now, an exclusive and unique cabinet produced in Sweden in the 1930s. And aesthetically, it resembles something designed by Axelina Hjort, but no designer was identified when it was offered for sale back in 2016. And it's crafted from birch with elegant steel legs, and the entire structure rests on a rectangular wooden base. And the wooden exterior was painted black with a small circular motif of cocktail glasses and shakers on just on this one door. Mm-hmm. And even though this cabinet remained unidentified, it was sold for $3,200. And
I don't like the black.
You don't like the back?
No, the black. The
black, no.
And I don't like the weird placement of the beautiful whatever.
This motif.
Yeah, what is it? Intarsia? Or?
Yeah, I think this Intarsia.
I don't like the placement of it. It's off.
Yeah.
It looks weird. I'm disturbed. Disturbed?
Yeah, but distracted of the placement. And I wonder what kind of wood were used to, what kind of wood is underneath this black? And is this black original or not?
It's too ugly for that.
It could be a fact that someone painted it black later on.
I think so.
Yeah,
it looks ugly and it's weird.
It could be a rosewood cabinet underneath, and then it would be great.
The placement is still very, very weird.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I really hope. I really hope that it isn't more Intarsia motifs underneath this black, because then it would be horrible that someone painted it.
It looks fun though, the little motif. It's cute.
Yeah, it is.
Why the heck isn't it more centered or something?
Yeah, and it's strange that they couldn't identify it, because it's too extreme for a 1930s cabinet not to be.
Or is it has someone just built it at home? The legs are very weird.
Some dealer has built it and just wanted us to believe it is an expensive cabinet. Either it is like a $50,000 cabinet, or it's just something a dealer built at home. Hard to tell, but this Intarsia is obviously
very
really
pretty.
nice.
Very pretty. And finally, we have the so-called Captain's Bar, introduced by the Danish company Dyrlund in the 60s. Yeah. This square piece made from rosewood and brass is something of a transformer. Yeah. Again. It can be easily and quickly converted from a small storage unit into a spacious bar counter ready to serve the guests. Yeah. Inside there are shelves, drawers and stainless trays by Stelton. Yeah. I couldn't find a recent auction result, but this bar is still in production with a retail price of nearly $6,000. Yeah. Which is a lot. Yeah, and the new cabinets, especially in some light wood, they look like something you find in the cafeteria. And light wood is always it looks bad, very bad. Yeah. So let's not even go there. No. Well, it's a multifunctional piece. Fun. Yeah, that's fun. Multifunction. I have one thing I don't really like, and that's the fact that this top, when you fold it out, it's too wide for this piece. It doesn't look proportional, I think. No, but you can have a lot of friends around it. Yeah, I think that's the reason why it is so big. Do you really want to stand? No, you don't want to. And if you have this bar at home, you need to stand, the whole party, you need to stand behind it and serve the guests, so you don't want to do that. But the shelves and stuff doesn't look very smart. No, they look quite low. Yeah, low. So you can't have any bottles there. Well. Oh, you can have, but on the bottom left you could. But not anywhere else. And then you should have the glasses and so on that. But that's also a problem, because you have to fold this bar out. Oh, that could. And if you have a lot of glasses and bottles, they will just fall over. Yeah. So it seems like the idea was good, but perhaps
it's still not the best of ideas.
So A for effort.
Yeah, but otherwise...
Average. Very average.
Yeah. And it's a bit too much of a... No, I don't really like this one.
No, me neither. Why couldn't you find any 10 out of 10 bar cabinets? You didn't find anyone.
No,
Anything.
and I think one problem is this fact that there aren't any like real Art Deco bar cabinets because they weren't made for alcohol in that in that time.
Yeah.
And in the 50s and 60s, Wegener did bar cabinets, Mogensen did bar cabinets, but they didn't concentrate on bar cabinets, and that's why the bar cabinet...
That would be weird.
Yeah, but they did like to drink alcohol.
Of course they did.
So they should. But the problem is that the bar cabinet was just yet another thing they designed. I don't think this was the center. It wasn't like the chair for Wegener.
No, of course, but...
So it's hard to find this 10 out of 10.
I found a new one.
You did?
That looked like a robot.
Yeah, that's
That was fun.
That's really nice. And we always have these world cabinets, so perhaps it's a great idea to buy one.
Why isn't one of those here?
Because it's hard to find an old world cabinet. They are always these low
Are they
quality.
called world cabinets?
I think so.
Globe
Cabinets, or in Sweden we say jordglob, and everyone understand what we mean.
Globe.
But a globe,
Earth globe.
Earth globe. But in if you say globe, then it could be just the globe, not the Earth,
world.
not the world. The world cabinet could be a cabinet with like flags on it too. So, but
You couldn't find any old ones.
no, I couldn't.
So
but I want one.
that.
Do you have one? Just email me.
Do that?
Yeah. And thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.